Welcome back, everybody. I asked you guys for letters, and you know what? You've shown up and you've sent me some letters, and I've got some really good ones today. We're going to be talking about horseface. Horseface sent a letter to a woman's husband's sister. So Horseface complained to the sister, but more about that in a second. Most of you know that I work with women who are married to a midlife crisis husband. I also work with men who are married to a midlife crisis women who want to get out. And I help them stay calm and do everything they can to get their spouse back. That's what I do. Today is one of my favorite days. I love giving you guys a glimpse of what it looks like to hear from a horseface, because horseface is well. She's not well. And as much as you dream about her being some fantastic, amazing, filled with diamonds, singing, oh, she's not. She's a mess. She wouldn't be with your midlife crisis husband if she was a good person. Maybe she doesn't know what she's doing, and that's another story. Let's read this letter. But I do want to preface, in this letter, Horseface is pissed. I call Horseface as the affair partner because that's a kind way, instead of saying the other words that most women call their husband's affair partner. So I've come up with this word called Horseface because it's kind, and if you ever hear of someone at a grocery store or at dinner somewhere, Horseface, you're going to know where that came from. It came from one of my wives who came up with the idea, and I loved it, so I put it into play. In fact, everything I do is because of you guys. You guys say stuff, and I go, that's a really good idea. I technically think it's God handing me, going, here, do this. And I listen. If you guys think, she should do this, tell me. Let me know. I'd love to hear. So in this, Horseface is mad, and she wrote a letter to the sister because she thinks the man that she had, who left his wife for her, is dating someone else. He's cheating on her. So she's horseface number one, and now there's a number two, and she's pissed. But technically, let's be clear, she's not horseface number one at all. There were two more before her. So the story is kind of really sad and weird and wrong. And my poor client, who's watching all this happen, my advice to her is, well, at least it wasn't you. He doesn't want to be with anybody. What we forget is when you meet a man who's married to another woman and has kids, and that man wants to jump ship away from the wife, away from those kids, and come be with you. Are you really that wonderful? Are you that perfect? If you're about to get into a relationship with a man who's willing to do that, say goodbye to his kids, say goodbye to his wife, and come with you because they're terrible, one day you will be terrible too, or three, or four. I've talked to many women who've been the cheater, and they're like, but I thought I was really special. And the answer to that is, yes, you are really special, but are you worth it to destroy the lives of children and another woman? Do you want that on your conscience? Do you want that on your heart? Or would it be easier just to leave that alone and get away from this guy and go find someone who's free? Find someone who's been divorced for a year or two, is done with his ex-wife, but then you got to find out what was going on with that ex-wife that you wanted to leave her in the first place. I talk to many wives who go get married to a man who's been married for 25 years to someone else, and I say, well, why did he leave the first wife? Oh, she was terrible. Oh, well, what was so terrible about her? Well, she was just mean. Oh, she was mean. Well, why was she mean? Oh, my husband just said she was awful to live with. Okay. Do you know her? No, she won't talk to me. Oh, okay. There's a lot of information there, don't you think? Do research. Find out what it is you're actually getting involved in. And what happened if that man who left that woman, who's pissed off at him and won't talk to each other anymore, there's some history there. What happened? Find out. What did he learn? Don't be afraid to ask. If you're afraid to ask, you probably shouldn't be with him. No fear. Find out what was the reason why they got divorced, why they got separated. Don't date someone who's separated. Do you really want someone else to use goods? Find somebody who's a good person who can tell you, the reason I left my wife was because I was an asshole, because I was dating other people, I cheated on her, I did this. Okay, good, now we're getting someplace, right? He's honest, he's trustworthy, he's sharing with you exactly why he left his wife. You want to know that information. And if he said, oh, because she was terrible, I don't know. There's two people in that marriage. Maybe true, maybe not. We don't know. But if she was terrible, what did he do about it? Did he just leave her? Because one day you're going to be terrible. You're going to blow up about something, because we all do, because we're not perfect. And when you do that, will he just leave because he doesn't have any skills to come talk to you and say, I didn't like how you talked to me? You got to have skills to deal with each other, because no one is perfect, and people are going to act up, and they're going to get crazy, and they're going to be weird. And when that happens, you want to be able to work with each other, right? Don't get married to someone who doesn't have these skills, especially for your second time, because that's even harder. Let me tell you a secret. Years ago, when I was where you are, where my husband left for a while and had a horse face, I was approached by a lot of men at my church, at my kids' school, and they all wanted to date me. And they'd be on their knees, like telling me, oh, I've always loved you. I want to be with you. You're amazing. And I'm like, but you're still married. I can't date you. Yeah, but my wife doesn't understand me. She doesn't love me. The things they thought of and came up with reasons why they should date me. And I just kept hearing this voice in the side of my head going, but they still love their wives. And even if they're getting divorced, they're still married. And I wouldn't touch that, even if I don't like the wife. I'm not touching that. Why? Because I don't believe it. I believe at the end of the day, they just want the untouched fruit. So everyone's like, I'll rescue you. And they come out of the woodwork rescuing me. And I'm like, as much as I needed rescuing and care and love and kindness, I knew what I was getting into, and I would never touch a married man. You just don't do that. That is not the boundary you want to cross. I'm not a fan of boundaries, but that's one that we all hold dear. Never touch a married man or a man who's still married, because he's still committed to his wife, and there's nothing good that's going to happen there for you. There's nothing good that's going to happen there for you. Why waste your time with that guy when over there is a guy who doesn't have any attachment to anybody? Don't you want that? Why do that? That's complicated and yucky. Yes, he's already had practice. He's trained, but is he? Or does he have so much baggage that you'll have to unpack it one day? And that won't be pretty. So why bother? Okay, horse face. Let's get to the letter. Because I had that experience of all these men coming to me when they were married, I didn't know if they were in midlife crisis or maybe something was going on with them. People have their parents dying. There's a lot going on. And a lot of people need a blanket that they want outside of the marriage after 20 plus years. And if some woman suddenly becomes single, yeah, they're going to flock to her. So be careful. And if it happens to you, pay attention. It's just so interesting. The human spirit and what we do, we're all the same. Be wise, choose well. In fact, I do classes, right? I have a secret video program. If your husband left you or if your wife left you, you can come there and learn all my secrets. I have videos that will tell you what to do, what to think, how to say, how to act, all the tiny details with support and bi-monthly calls as well. But you'll see, I've got affairs, darkness. That was in my last video I did a little while ago. And love and light, because that's what happens. You have choices. Do you want to be in the darkness or do you want to be in the light? I teach you what that looks like. That's just in one of my videos. So if that's what you want, go to thewifeexpert.com. There's a lot of free articles there. Plus you can click on those links that will take you to my YouTube channel. And if you're on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit subscribe right now. Hit subscribe. But then once you hit subscribe, go in there and there's like a little bell. Click the bell. That bell will notify you when I release another video. So it will come straight to your email box. And I know you get a lot of emails, but you don't want to miss what I'm talking about, because this stuff is fascinating. Okay, ready? So I've got this horse face letter, and I'm going to read to you. And it's about her sending a letter to her boyfriend, which is my client's husband's sister. So I'm going to read this straight through, and then we're going to talk about some things on the back end. Okay, so I can say this lady's name because there's thousands of this name out there. The woman who sent me this letter said, you can say whatever you want. I don't care. And I'm going to hide her privacy a little bit, but this name is kind of fun. Here we go. Hi, Joanna. You don't know me. I've been dating your brother. Ready? Watch. I do believe he is still married and is miserable. Well, that's what he told me to bring me into this web of lies. I'm so sorry to reach out and get you involved, but I think it's important for you to know who your brother really is. I'm sure you've heard him mention my name before. We were more than best friends for 10 years. We were in a solid relationship for almost 6 years. He also played a role in my children's lives as well. When we met, he was telling me he was leaving his wife. I was led to believe his marriage was over and couldn't be saved. Okay, don't bring your kids into your relationship when he's married to another woman and saying, I'm leaving her. Have you left her? Well, no. Don't introduce your kids to them. Sorry, had to get that out. When we met, he told me he was going to leave her when their son turned 18. We fell deeply and madly in love. And from what he told me, he never knew it could be this way. Bullshit! Sorry. However, considering the situation, there were many complications that led to many arguments, and he became very secretive, and I caught him in many white lies. You think? This past October, we quit going all in, but still kept up a sexual relationship, became best friends talking every day, and he begged me to change so we could have a future together. I also begged him to let me go if there was ever someone else, and he promised me every time there was not another woman. He cheated on his wife, and now he's going to promise a woman he's not married to that he's going to be faithful to her? Sorry, guys, I'm just calling it out from a person who's not in the boiling frog water with you. He promised me every time there was not another woman. According to several friend groups that he was hanging out with, their daughters, and best friend of this woman, I have found out that he has had another girlfriend since at least January or February. So he has managed a wife at home, not yet divorced, me still having a sexual intimate relationship with him, and now there's another girl in the mix, to which he will deny. And well, it all blew up, and the web of lies has been exposed. He has been caught red-handed. He became a little too big for his britches. I did reach out to his wife, not sure if the husband intercepted the message or not. I'm not saying the name, so sorry for the blip. He will claim I am crazy because I'm a single mother who fell in love with your brother, which I know was wrong. I was fed lies one after the other. I was gaslit every time I questioned him and made to feel crazy. At this point, I'm sure there are more prior to me. He is not the same man I met 6 years ago. There's a level of cockiness in him and a need for attention that he will deny. I'm not crazy. I am hurt. I am embarrassed. I have shame, and I'm so sorry to his wife. If he denies anything, I have all the text messages, emails, videos, and even pictures. I am so sorry to get you involved, but this man needs to stop hurting other people. So that's horseface. And she's right. He needs to stop hurting people. But she chose to jump into a relationship with him. Someone who was married. Someone who didn't probably answer all the questions that she asked, because she didn't ask them. Because if she would have asked, she would have had this like bullshit odometer on her that would scream loudly that he's bullshitting her. It's inside of you. Listen to it. If you're being bullshitted, you can still choose to be a part of something, but know you're getting bullshitted. That's your choice. And if you walk down the bullshit aisle with another man who's full of bullshit, don't expect no shit. It's going to be there. So if you don't want shit, go for somebody who's good and kind and conscientious and compassionate and isn't dragging along 4 women and a bunch of lies. And that's not the wife's problem either. He's had 4 girlfriends and he has a wife. And I'm taking care of that wife for now. She's in really good hands and she's got a very strong head on her shoulders. But if you're faced with this choice and decision, think again. And if your husband is doing this, be wise. Seek wisdom. Come to me. I will tell you exactly what to do. Because this is not a fun place to be. But I guarantee you, if you do the right things, you will grow to be the strong, best woman that will ever walk this planet. And then nothing can stop you. Whether you take him back or not. It's a shitty, shitty thing for this to happen to anybody. Don't be a horseface. Don't screw around with a man who's married. One more time. I guess this will be like 10 times I've said this on this video, isn't it? Don't go with a man who's still married. Don't go with a man who says, she doesn't understand me. She's so mean to me. She doesn't have sex with me. She doesn't this. I need you. I need you. It's the devil. It's Adam and Eve. There is Eve right by the apple. The snake is going, bite it. Just bite it. Don't bite it. Don't. And don't forget to join my videos. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe, bell. The other interesting thing, Horseface, who thinks she's number 1, who's actually really number 3, posted on her Facebook page, I might be the girl that got cheated on, but I'll never be the girl that knew he had a girlfriend or wife and still went there anyway. You can't make this stuff up, can you? Be smart, be wise, be better, and I'll see you next time.